Okay. What's going on, good people? How we doing tonight? How we feeling tonight? New York Giants in Germany. I believe it's like 3 in the morning in Germany right now. But let me know if I'm good. Let me know if the visual's good. Let me know if the vocals are good. If the audio's good, let me get a thumbs up if we good in here. He said you like the on hold music. I appreciate that. Yeah. I like the intro music too. Let me know if I'm good. Shout out to Bill. Shout out to everybody that's in the building already. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. We'll take a time out right now and hit that like button. Show some love and support. And appreciate everybody that's in the building right now. But let me get the thumbs up. Let me know if I'm good. Bill, let me know if I'm good because you're the only one in here commenting. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Johnny. Shout out to Johnny in the building too, man. So the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers in Germany. I was on Twitter earlier today and I saw somebody call it the toilet bowl. Somebody called it the toilet bowl. Yeah, that's a fact. There's a lot of people out there too. I saw LPG had put a video out. You got Giants fans marching in the middle of the street, blocking traffic, showing some good support for the Giants out there. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you very much. Fighters Destiny. Let me know that I'm good. But yeah, man, it's a lot to talk about, man. I thought I was gonna have one thing to talk about, and that was the guy on my hat right here. I thought I was going to talk about Hyatt a little bit, actually a lot of it today, because I had to throw this hat away for about 3 weeks. I got the news from Brian Daboll that Hyatt's going to be getting some more getting more snaps, not more targets, getting more snaps. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and dust this hat back off and throw it back on and show some love and support for Jalen Hyatt. So that's how I was going to start this thing out. Then I get some news today that Evan Neal is starting at right tackle tomorrow. Jermaine Illuminor is moving to left tackle. And I'll tell you guys, I don't like it. Brasillo did a interview, offensive line coach Brasillo did an interview like a month ago. And he said, and when Andrew Thomas first went down, I think it was when Andrew Thomas first went down. Maybe not. He said, he'd rather not move two people. He'd rather just move one. And for a lot of Giants fans, and we're talking about Evan Neal, what you should have just moved him to the left side. We saw what he is at a right tackle. Now you're gonna move Illuminor. You're gonna mess up that chemistry between Illuminor and Van Roten. You're gonna move Illuminor to the left side now, and now you're putting Evan Neal in there instead of just moving Evan Neal to the left side. So let me know how you guys feel about that, man. Again, for me, I don't like it. Some people love it. But a lot of people also think that left tackle is Evan Neal's natural position. And with Andrew Thomas going down, it just makes sense to go ahead and see what the guy can do on the left side. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But let me know how you guys think, what you guys think about that. And again, Mr. 7th overall pick in 2022 is getting another shot. And here's the thing. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best with Evan Neal, man. Because guess what? If Evan Neal can actually go out there and actually play well, that's one less position we got to worry about. And if he does play well, Van Roten, in my opinion, older guy, 1-year deal, probably won't be here. If Evan Neal shows that he can play right tackle and do it pretty well, that slides Illuminor to right guard. And then we got, problem solved for the most part, if you want to say that. But I'm telling you right now, when it comes to Evan Neal, I don't trust Evan Neal at all. I'm just hoping for Evan Neal. Got no faith, nothing but hope. And I'm hoping that he does well. But again, the New York Giants tomorrow against the Carolina Panthers. Early game. I believe that game is 9:30 on the East Coast. 7:30 for me, West Coast is going to be 6:30. So let me know how you guys feel about that. I'm going to get to some of these comments, and then we're going to keep talking about this game tomorrow. But also, let me know how you guys feel in the comment section. Let me know how you guys feel about this game. You feeling confident? Actually, let me know if you guys even want to win this game, because we know how some people are. Some people are in full-on tank season, and they don't even want to win this game. And I understand, because, again, my brain, but from Monday to game day, my brain is one thing. Once I get the game day, full-on Homer hat, and I'm rooting for the New York Giants to win. But I can understand why some people still would want to lose, this game. But, again, that's not me. I would never root for a loss. Let's see what's going on. But again, what's up? Some of the people that's here. Johnny Levy, what's up, Dash? What's going on, Johnny? All right, let's see what else is going on here. Bill says, London, so far we're undefeated in Europe. Destiny. That's a fact. That's a fact. We're undefeated in London. We'll see what happens in Germany. Can we keep the streak alive in Europe? That's something that could happen. You know what? Who's the home team tomorrow? That's one thing I didn't. Who's the quote unquote home team tomorrow? I don't know what jerseys we're wearing. Are we considered the home team? I wonder. Don't know for sure. But it's a lot of people out there. It's a lot of people out there. They made this whole thing like an event. Now, us over here, we already know it's the Carolina Panthers versus the New York Giants. There's nothing to write home about at all. But over there, they're treating it like it's some type of big event. So, whatever sells more tickets and makes more money for the NFL, I guess. Fighter's Destiny says Hodgins got elevated from the practice squad. That's something that makes a lot of sense. If you're doing some shuffling around, and again, they don't fully trust Hyatt. We can, like I said, he says Hyatt's going to get more snaps. They don't fully trust Hyatt still. And Hodgins is one of those guys that I think should have made the 53 anyway. Also, Bryce Ford Wheaton out. It doesn't surprise me that Hodgins was elevated. And again, I think Hodgins should have made the 53 anyway. He has good chemistry, with the quarterback, and he also can make some plays, man. He's a chain mover. He's not dynamic, but he's absolutely a chain mover, and he's a possession receiver. So I'm not mad at Hodgins at all for getting elevated. Again, I hope that he could stay on the 53. My man Brian Sutton says, I don't even know if we could win this game. So forget rooting to win this game. He doesn't even know if we could win this game. And that's valid, man. That's valid. The New York Giants are not who we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the season. And not saying that we thought it was, well, I'll speak for myself, not saying that I thought this team was going to be spectacular. I thought our range was going to be 6 to 8 wins. But the Carolina Panthers was definitely one of those games that I had circled as a W. And the closer and closer we got to this game, you realize that, you know what? It's not a guarantee like I thought it would be in the beginning of the season for sure, or, at that time. So my man, American football fan, says, I'm ready for this L, hoping Evan Neal develops. So that's two things. You get some positives and some negatives there. So he's ready for the L, but he also hopes that Evan Neal develops. Now, listen, when I talk bad about Evan Neal, that's strictly because I'm disappointed in his development and I'm disappointed in his play. When we first got Evan Neal, I was super excited. Draft night, I thought we got the best tackle in the draft, hands down. I'm an Alabama fan, so I might be a little bit biased. But draft night, I thought when we got Kayvon at 5 and then we got Neal at 7, you might as well stop the draft after that. I thought it was a home run. Fast forward 3 years later, not so much. Got a hair in my eye. What's going on here? Shout out to my man TP Way the Giant in the building. Says Peach Chat. What's the word, Dash? You tell me, brother. I saw you uploaded earlier today. Shout out to you. Yeah, man. I want to know how you feel about it. Again, for me, I'm hoping for the win. I'm hoping that Jalen Hyatt can go off. I'm hoping that this offense looks better. I'm hoping that the defense stands firm and has one of those, shutout type of games. But I really don't know what to expect, man. I really don't know. Okay, my man Fighter just said, oh, yeah, it was London. Thanks. So that's what Bill was talking about. Okay. My man Johnny says Burns 3+ sacks. That's something that could absolutely happen. I believe Aquano for the Panthers is out. There's another offensive lineman on the injury report. I don't have it in front of me right now. But even if they were healthy, this is one of those offensive lines where our defense should get home early and often. Like Dexter Lawrence should eat tomorrow. Like bad. Like I really think that they're gonna cause a lot of headaches for that young quarterback, especially it being young. The man weighs 175 pounds soaking wet. And you got to worry about Dex and Burns and Aziz. Like it should be a good game for the New York Giants, especially on the defensive side. My main thing is this: the New York Giants have to be able to score points against the Carolina Panthers. If we can't score points against the Carolina Panthers, who can we score points against? Shout out to my man Vocal Vike in the building. He says, Dash, what's good, my guy? Y'all better beat the Panthers. That's what I'm that's what I'm hoping for, man. That's what the way you say, I can feel the energy. Y'all better beat the Panthers. Yeah, we should beat the Panthers, right? We should beat the. Yeah, I don't sound nervous at all, do I? I don't sound nervous, right? Not at all. I don't sound nervous, just a little bit. Shout out to my man D New York Giants says I'm here. Shout out to you. What's going on, bro? Uh-oh. American football says I'm watching Deontay Banks and Neighbors, and I'm hoping for the L. See, how do we get here, man? How do we get to the point where we hope for the L's? Listen, it's taking care of itself right now. The New York Giants are playing bad ball. We don't got to hope for the L. We don't have to hope for that. If it comes, it comes. Pause. But, for me, again, I can't hope for L's, man. I can accept the defeat, but I'm not going to hope for no defeat, man. I can't do it. To each his own, though. Love and respect. What's going on? Jersey in the building. Hodgins will more than likely end up with more snaps than Hyatt. You know what? I agree with you. That's the same thing that happened last time when he got elevated. He saw more snaps than Hyatt, and then we came back here and we talked about it, and it didn't even matter that Slayton was out. Oh, I'm sorry, when Neighbors was out, Hyatt still wasn't getting any targets. But you're absolutely right. He can in fact end up with more snaps than Hyatt. And again, I'm not mad at that. Again, I thought Hyatt should have. I'm sorry. I thought Hodgins should have made the team anyway. Instead of playing this game, moving up and down the 53 from the practice squad, he deserved better than that, in my opinion. But again, I'm not the coach. I'm not the general manager. Thank you, Bill, for letting me know the Panthers are the home team. Thank you very much for that. So we're going with the white jerseys. It should have been like a color rush then, that we were going to go with the white jerseys. I did see that, John. Shout out to John. He said we're 6.5 point favorites. Yeah, I saw that. I'm still not putting money. I don't really bet on the Giants, especially when it comes to winning and losing. I don't bet on the Giants. I might bet the over and under, but I never bet the odds when it comes to the Giants. This is something I never did. Even back when I lived in Vegas all those years. I never bet on the Giants. Shout out to my man Bill, a new channel member. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for the love and support as always. One of my day one guys too. Shout out to Bill. Thank you very much for that. My man Brian Sutton says, me too, bro. I ain't gonna lie. What do you mean? What do you mean? Christian Torres says, what's up, Dad? What's going on, Christian? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? My man, let's see. My man Brian Sutton says, I thought Neal and Thibodeau were home run picks. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, thank you for clearing that up. That's what I thought. I thought so. Like at one point in time when we were going into that draft, again, this is back in 2022. At one point in time, both Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal were seen as like a number one pick overall in that draft. It goes to show you how up and down that draft was. But you couldn't tell me anything, after that first round. I slept like a baby after that first round in 2022. Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal, and I was on the Shakedown show because they did a live stream during the draft. Like we were celebrating when we got Kayvon and then turned around and got Evan Neal, celebrating because I thought we were going to end up. I didn't think we were going to get both. I kind of had a feeling we were going to get Kayvon Thibodeau, but then I thought like maybe we get Aquano, maybe we get Charles Cross. And we ended up with Evan Neal. And at the time, I was ecstatic. But now you see, Neal is fighting for his life out there. Shout out to Sydney in the building. She says, hey, Dad, I hope banks don't get robbed tomorrow. I hope the bank is closed. Maybe, you know what? It's Germany. Maybe the banks are actually closed on Sunday in Germany. I got to look that up. But hopefully, for our sake, hopefully the bank is closed. I hope so, man. I hope so. Yeah, that's a fact, man. Listen, I'm not trying to rob people out here. Love and support, man. I'm not trying to dig deep in the pockets. I appreciate the love and support, man. I do. I really do. My man TP Way the Giants says, I don't think we can afford to lose to a loss to the Panthers. I can only imagine what a loss would do to this locker room. Every week you can feel the air getting more and more thick. That's a fact. That's a fact. We're starting to see the rumblings already. After every loss, somebody has something to say and people got a problem with it. Yeah, I did want to thank you for the segue. Early this week, right? Obviously, after the game, Malik Neighbors gets interviewed. And what happens? What happens? People are complaining, oh, you shouldn't have said that. Like, when do we punish people for telling the truth? Now, I understand that it might have not been the best time to say something, but when I watched the video, I don't think he did anything that bad. I don't think he said anything that bad. Let's see what we got here. Sorry about that. Let's see. My man Thunder in the building. What's going on, Thunder? My man D-Dan is in the building as well. TP getting some love in the chat. That's what's up. Yeah, man. Shout out to my man Dwayne Murphy. Says salute, Big Dash. Who do you got in the Cam Ward Bowl? It all depends, man. It all depends on what happens. Obviously, as soon now, I don't know if everybody saw the game today, the Miami game. Miami did end up losing to Georgia Tech. It was a stunner for me, especially after they came back, because they was losing that game. They didn't look good. That defense, Miami's defense is trash. And when you can't stop Georgia Tech, I don't know what to tell you. But at the end of the game, Cam Ward had a chance to march down the field and, a game-winning drive, ends up getting strip sacked. Georgia Tech wins the game. But I put on Twitter, I said, watch how fast the Cam Ward haters come out after this. And sure enough, they came right out. Oh, man, thank you, Bill. Bill has gifted 10 Big Dash Knows memberships. So if you're a lucky recipient of a membership, go ahead and say thank you to Bill. But thank you, Bill, for the love and support, man. That's a fact, man. I appreciate it. And there they go. Okay, Bill showing some love in the chat. My man, Fighters Destiny. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that for sure. Bill got the plug. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Oh, man. No, I appreciate that, though. So, yeah, outside of Neal, man, it's strange enough, man. I need Brian Daboll to do something this week. I've been going back and forth, and you guys been watching these videos, man. And I do apologize because sometimes I go on rants, and I rant for real. So I was on a rant, and I'm talking about Brian Daboll. And listen, I still feel the way that I feel about that. I still feel the way that I feel about Brian Daboll. I'm feeling like he's not doing the best job coaching. And I know that Dwayne is going to argue with me a little bit in the comment section because he's going to say, how can he call plays when his quarterback is Daniel Jones? I already know where you're going, Dwayne, so you ain't even got to do that. But I need for Brian Daboll to coach a good game, complete game, and, look good doing it. Not a lot of penalties, up-tempo if we got to go up-tempo, balanced offense, run the ball, be able to pass the ball, move the chains, and score touchdowns ultimately. I need that from Brian Daboll for my own sanity, because last couple of weeks, I have not been wanting to hear the post-game presses from Brian Daboll. We got to do better. Wash, rinse, repeat. I got to watch the tape. And that's one thing for us Giants fans. If anything is startling, it's when the head coach says, I got to watch the tape. We remember who used to say that all the time about I need to watch the tape. Joe Judge was one of those guys. How much tape is out there for you to watch? No, just tell me what you saw because I saw you screaming on the sideline. You don't need to watch the tape when you're out there yelling. Don't give me the BS. Just let me know the truth. Offense ain't doing what it needs to do. Too many penalties. But you gotta point the finger at yourself too. That's a fact. Sydney says, Dash, I can't deal with another failed 2-point conversion from Brian Daboll. And that's a fact. I think we should take those 2-point conversions, ball them up, throw them in the trash. Easy. Throw them in the trash. Just kick the extra point. Dwayne says Daboll gonna have to suit up if we want them plays to go his way. He got to play quarterback, is what you're saying? He got to throw on that 8 jersey. Sydney says, Dash, no more tape, please. That's a fact. Bill says some people charge crazy money for membership, so I don't mind at all spreading the love to the guys that don't. That's a fact, man. Again, listen. During the season is one thing. We had these lives. Now, because I did this is the first season I started doing lives, and I appreciate the love and support. I waited for a while. So I felt like, people want to hang out with me. So people showed that they want to hang out with me. I appreciate the love and support. What I do the most, though, is in that off season when a lot of the bigger channels go on hiatus and they sleep a little bit. Shout out to them, too, because everybody needs their rest. I stay consistent 365. So even after the season is over, I'm still going to be here every Saturday doing this. And because there's no games, maybe I do a middle of the week show, too. because it dies down a lot in the Giants community. And I know that sometimes it's not a lot of news going on, but there's always something to talk about when you're a Giants fan. And when it comes to the offseason, I go full on college scouting mode, and I'll probably do a little bit more of that this offseason. Definitely combine talk, definitely prospect talk. We do some mock drafts on here and everything. And when I do those mock drafts, maybe I had some people on as well. And that's something else that I'm working on too. Try to get some people on the channel. That's something that people have been asking for. And I got some good relationships with a lot of Giants content creators. So I'm going to start reaching out for sure. For sure. Dwayne says, that's fair. I hate the excuse because weren't you watching the game? What you need the tape for? Exactly. Like you've been yelling the whole game. We see you on the sideline. Every time the camera zooms in, your face is red. You didn't need to watch the tape to yell at somebody. You know what's going on. My man TP says, hold it down in the offseason dash because I'm taking a week or two off. Listen, some people do that. But like I said, for me, I'm such a football fan. Not saying that other people aren't football fans, because these guys absolutely go hard, go crazy. Pause. But that's just something that I like to do. And I notice with the streams, we got a nice community here. It's not the biggest community, but I feel like it's personable, I should say. And I feel like I know everybody that's pretty much in here commenting. So you know what? When we get to the point where it's the combine and we start talking about draft picks and mock drafts and stuff like that, hopefully everybody is in for those too, man, because we can talk a lot. And again, I will be taking endpoint. And again, I love doing mock drafts. Last year, I went mock draft crazy. I would do like 3 or 4 mock drafts a day and just share it on social media. So I can definitely do a mock draft or 2, live once a week with the family. Shout out to the Big Blue Nation for sure. My man Brian Sutton says, I'm gonna be watching you now, bro. Giants for life. That's a fact. I appreciate it, man. My man Gary Gasson says, Dash, that video teaching how to start a channel was fire. Much respect, bro. Now I appreciate that. I did that for a reason. It was a couple people that reached out and asked me about some pointers. And listen, I don't have the biggest channel, man. And when I started this, again, I did it strictly out of love. I wasn't trying to teach people, but I went around searching for the knowledge. And I wasn't, I guess just asking everybody willy-nilly about what was going on, because you feel a certain way when you ask people for pointers and stuff like that. You don't want people to look at you a certain way, but I just want people to know that for me, ask as many questions as you want. Full transparency. You guys want to know about certain equipment and stuff like that, I'm gonna do that. And because I got such a good response, for that video, maybe I'll do throw out a part 2 or something like that, man, for sure. Shout out to Sydney Angel. She said every time Brian Daboll says he needs to watch the tape, he is really saying we messed up. That's a fact. Or he messed up. Because he doesn't have anything to say. He knows what's going on, and it's not up to par. And he keeps saying that too, because when you look at the post game presser, and then when you turn around and go to Monday and you have that early morning presser that they release, he tells you exactly how he feels, man. Like we got to be better. We got to do this. We got to do that. We had a good week of preparation. We can't have these silly penalties. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. Wash, rinse, and repeat. And I'll be saying the same thing on here. We shoot ourselves in the foot a lot. Every quarter, every drive, something happens. Negative plays. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. 1 step forward, 10 steps back in some cases for the New York Giants. I think we just grown to get used to it. My man Dwayne says, when I start mine, I'm telling everyone it's your fault. Nah, that's a fact. Go out there and do your thing, man. I'm telling you, the hardest thing about starting your channel is just the initial press record, man. And I wish Prince Castro was in here. And if you guys have time later to do it, go ahead and watch like one of my first videos. You wouldn't believe it. Trash. It's not saying that things is fantastic now, but back then, trash. I wasn't on camera. I was reading off a piece of paper. It's bad, man. It's bad. That's when my son first started making beats. So the beats were okay. But now I think my son's doing a lot. We're both growing with this whole thing. He's getting better with his beat making, his producing. And I think the show is getting better with me. I'm getting used to being comfortable in my skin and stuff like that. And I appreciate it. And again, you guys make everything that much easier. But let's get back to this game, though. So the Carolina Panthers got rid of Deontay Johnson. They got rid of Jonathan Mingo, traded him to the Dallas Cowboys, and they pretty much what they get? They got a fourth for Jonathan Mingo, I think. A third, actually, no, was it a third for Jonathan Mingo? They got the Dallas Cowboys got screwed in that deal. Maybe they just wanted they just wanted a wide receiver that bad, but they didn't. I don't think they even had wide receiver issues. They had issues being able to stop the run. They had issues with the offensive line. Dak Prescott not playing up to snuff. They had issues with that. I don't think they needed another wide receiver, but that's Jerry Jones. We'll see what happens with that. And actually, I really don't care. If the New York Giants win tomorrow, if the Dallas Cowboys lose tomorrow, we'll have the same record. We'll have the same. We'll both be, 3-7. And then we'll be at the bottom together. And then by the time we get to the Thanksgiving game, because that's the game I really want to win. Like we keep talking about games we want to lose. The game I still want to beat Dallas. Like I still want to beat Dallas, and I want to beat them on Thanksgiving for sure. For sure. My man Brian Sutton says he also says he did. Well, yeah. He did some good things in regards to Jones. Nah, no, he didn't. Yeah, he does say that. I like the way he's playing. He's playing pretty well. If you look the past couple of weeks, he's been doing everything we asked him to do. What kind of statement is that? You've been doing everything I asked you to do. That's like me cooking a meal and I asking my kids, how was the meal? And my kids saying, you did everything you had to do. Like what? Was the meal good or not? You did everything you had to do. Oh man, Dwayne says Jerry Jones is doing this weird thing where he's actually trying to win by making the team worse. I don't know, man. Listen, they paid Dak. And what do the Cowboys need really? They need some defensive line help. I think their linebackers and their secondary is pretty straight. Offensive line needs to just gel. It's the coaching for me probably, and it's some of the decision making that Dak Prescott makes. I think that's what it is. You guys let me know. But yeah, for me, I'm confident in this game, and that's the part that scares me. Like I'm really, really confident that the New York Giants are going to beat the Carolina Panthers. And whenever I'm this confident, we end up losing. But I can't fake it. I think we can put up. I really, even without Darius Slayton out there, I think we can put up 30 on the Carolina Panthers, man. Call me crazy. I think we can put up 30. And I might have just jinxed us. That's a fact, man. Panthers fleeced them. Yeah, they fleeced the Dallas Cowboys. Jonathan Domingo got like 500 yards for his career. I mean, I was high on Jonathan Domingo coming out of Ole Miss. I would have loved him for the New York Giants that year he came out, but it just didn't happen. And he went to the Panthers, and you really didn't see much. But he does have a certain skill set. There was some comparison, to a poor man's A.J. Brown, something like that. But Jonathan Domingo is he's not that tall. I think he's like 6'1", but he's a good like 220 pounds. So he's in that mold of A.J. Brown, but he's not A.J. Brown. The only thing him and A.J. Brown really got in common is that they both went to Ole Miss. My man Max says we need to lose tomorrow. Come on, Max. We need to lose tomorrow. Nah, that's a lot of people that feel the same way you do. You do. Max, do you have a quarterback that you're eyeballing? That's my question. Do you have a quarterback that you're eyeballing? Because a lot of people that say we should lose, we should tank, they got two quarterbacks in mind. I want to know who your guy is. Cam Ward, I knew it. I like Cam Ward a lot, man. Shedeur Sanders is still my favorite quarterback coming out of this draft. But Cam Ward is a close second. I like his I like the way he's calm, even when the play breaks down. Sometimes he's calm to a fault. But I'm with you, TPY. Yeah, I like Shedeur better than Cam. I just think the pre-snap, post-snap anticipation for Shedeur is just on a different level. Cam is a very smart player. But again, he's a little too calm in some cases, man. And he takes a lot of sacks that he shouldn't. We saw it today. But he also makes some fantastic plays too. So that's the gift and the curse for Cam Ward. But again, you can't lose with either one of those guys, in my opinion. You can't lose. Shout out to the 35 people in here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button either on the way in or on the way out. My man Derek Jones, shout out to Derek. He says we should lose. Again, Derek, nobody's gonna argue with you too much, man. Like I said, I don't do that, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that you shouldn't say that. I'm not gonna what they call the fan police. I'm not a part of the fan police. You fan how you want to fan. I'll give my opinion. You can share yours. For me, I don't want to lose. I understand the losing and what it does. But again, it's close enough to game day that my mind has shifted. You catch me on Monday, I'm like, man, we should lose them all. But once we get closer to the game, start to feel that energy, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. My man John May says, I'm calling a crazy yak play for Malik. I hope so, man. I hope so. Okay, yeah, it's been a while since we got a chance to speak, so I'm sure everybody watched that game on Thursday night, the Ravens and the Bengals, and I know you guys saw Jamar Chase go off. Man. Everybody should have been watching that. It was slow in the first quarter and halfway through the second quarter, but that second half was an explosion of offense. Pause. But yo, you saw how Jamar Chase went off. When I tell you that Malik Neighbors can do the same things that Chase can do, I'm not lying. A lot of that has to do, it's not all the quarterback's fault, I understand that, but a lot of that has to do with ball placement and hitting the man on stride. All that after the catch ability, Malik Neighbors has that just as much as Jamar Chase. 4.3 40. Look at the yak yards from college. Once we start hitting Malik Neighbors in stride, you guys will see that and will understand, what we really have. And if he complains at the end of the games, nobody's going to say nothing because he looks like Odell Beckham out there. Actually, somebody always complains. There's somebody not happy. Shout out to my man Mickey X. He says, "What's up, Big Dash? Super Panzer Bowl tomorrow. Super Panzer. I don't know what that means. I might be too old to understand what that means. Panzer? Super Panzer. Okay. Let me know what that means." My man Dwayne says, Miami losing it. Oh, losing isn't a bad thing either. Let other teams start to have their doubts get Ward and Blue. Nah, I understand. Like, there's already a lot of hate out there for those guys. There's already a lot of people, like, shout out to my man Cop Pizzle, man. Shout out to my man Cop Pizzle. But me and him do not see eye to eye when it comes to Cam Ward. I think he likes Cam Ward, but he doesn't think that Cam Ward can have the kind of effect on the New York Giants that I think he can. But listen, I'm gonna talk to him about that. And then TP Way, if you're still in the building, let me know, TP. Let me know if you're still in the building. I gotta ask you a question, brother. My man Benji says, I'll take Cam's dual threat ability. Definitely quarterback one. Liz, we can go back and forth on that. We can go back and forth on that for sure. Dwayne Murphy says, "Oh snap, I didn't even catch Jamar's stat line before." Right? Yeah, he had like 260. 260. Come on, man. My man TP Way says, "I got a little frustrated at Burrow for not hitting Jamar for the win." But yeah, I know. Yeah, he went. Yeah, that's right. He went for the tight end, and he said it at the end of the game that he didn't even see Jamar. He didn't even see it. He admitted it right away. But yeah, ATP. We got something for the people cooking, man. Just let everybody know. TP Way, some other Giants content creators, we got something cooking for the bye week. I'm gonna just give y'all a little tad bit of that. TP Way, if you want to talk more about it in the chat, you can do that. But we cooking up something for the people for sure, for the bye week. It won't be a game, but it's definitely going to be a show on the bye week. Shout out to everybody involved for sure. Dwayne says Pizzle hates Ward because he can't accept that Danny is not the guy. Listen, man, it is what it is, man. Some people, let me tell you something about, because like I said, I've been a fan of a lot of Giants content creators for a long time. And I remember back in 2018, people didn't like me a lot, especially on Twitter. They didn't like me a lot because I was saying, things like Eli's on his last leg. Eli's cooked right now. That's what I was saying. I got blocked by Paul Dottino. I was never disrespectful though. I just was like, like Eli, it's over for Eli. And I remember when we drafted Daniel Jones, and one comment that I made, I said, I'd rather lose with the new guy, Daniel Jones, than keep losing with Eli Manning. That's what I said. And Cop Pizzle did not like Daniel Jones at all. He thought that he was pushing Eli Manning out of the building. He felt like we were disrespecting Eli, and now to see it now, how hard he's fighting for Daniel Jones is like deja vu for me. It's deja vu, but you can't give Daniel Jones any type of respect that you're going to give Eli Manning in the situation. Not the two-time Super Bowl MVP. No. Daniel Jones can't hold a candle to Eli Manning. And we just, that's just facts. That's just facts, man. My man Benji said he couldn't see Jamar because his face mask got, yeah, he did. Yeah, it was a penalty. Yeah, they missed it too. The refs have been horrible. Horrible. And it's not just Giants games. These refs have missed a lot of important calls in important parts of a game. We've been pass interference, face masks, holding penalties in the end zone. They're missing a lot. People missing out on fresh downs. Like, you can't tell me if that face mask is called that these guys don't score. The 2-point. Listen, and they killed my parlay. Like, I had a parlay going. The only thing I needed was 6 more receiving yards from Zay Flowers. That's all I needed was 6 more yards. And the funny thing about it is he got those 6 yards. He actually got 12 yards. He got called back for a legal man downfield. And as Giants fans, we already know the pain of a legal man downfield. And it cost me some dollars. It cost me some dollars. There it is right there, my man TP Way, letting you guys know what we got cooking on the bye week. You see it. Yours truly, my man TP Way, Cop Pizzle, Sneaky G, the Juke, Born for Sports. We're going to be there for bye week. We got a show cooking up for y'all. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Shout out to Scooby. Shout out to the sis Scooby. Scooby is in Germany right now. Right now, it's almost 4 a.m, Scoob? 4 a.m? You need to be asleep. Oh, see, it's 3:30. Yeah, see? Going back to shout out to Scoob. Thank you for the love and support, man. I know you're going to be bringing that energy for the game tomorrow. Did anybody fly out with you really quick before you go to bed? Did any of the brothers fly out with you? Because I know I saw you had the pics with LPG and them out there. Also, shout out to Big Blue UK and Ireland. Those guys was out there. She said solo. It's out there. So be safe out there. It's enough Giants fans out there. I know his family out there is love out there too. So you should be good. I wonder if my man Andre. I wonder if Dre made it to the game because Dre lives in Germany. I wonder if you got a chance to meet up with him. Hopefully, you got tickets to the game, man. Because that's Dre. Dre's a big New York Giants fan out there. Hopefully, he was able to make it to the game too, or will make it to the game. You figure if you lived in Germany for 10 years and the Giants finally get out there, you probably will want to go to that game too. So I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be at that game. But you have a good night, Scoop. I hope all is well with you and enjoy yourself tomorrow. Have a lot of fun. A lot. My man Derek Jones says, when the Giants bench DJ or when they move on, I won't root the Giants anymore for a while, if ever again. Hold on, I got to read that again. When the Giants bench DJ or when they move on, I won't root for the Giants anymore for a while, if ever again. What do you mean by that? If they get rid of Daniel Jones, you're not going to root for the Giants, is what you're saying? Go ahead and clarify that for me. Yeah, that's a fact. Thunder says Daniel Jones isn't a no Diddy. I agree with you. Not even. Manscaped. Not even. Benji says that that's the ref's favorite call to make illegal man downfield every time. We had an explosive call. Gives me PTSD. I saw it in the college game today. And I understand it's tricky. You know what? Maybe they should give them 2 yards instead of 1. If you give the offensive line 2 yards instead of 1, you probably see that call go away. Like, for real. They need to look into that. Give the guys 2 yards. Give them 2 yards of grace. And I think that you'll see that play call or that foul, that penalty go away. Scoob says good night, people. Everybody say good night to Scoob over there. And again, you got to turn around and wake right up. Hopefully the food is good over there too. Hopefully. Derek Jones says, I root for players more than the team. Oh, man. I like team because my favorite player is on the team. I was a Jet fan for years until they traded Keyshawn. Okay, we got to have a conversation, Derek. You like players more than a team. To each his own. Love you, but I cannot agree with that. Oh, man, I can't agree with that. Oh, man, but I understand there's a lot of people like that. I remember we saw the commercial. Remember the commercial when Saquon got traded? It was a commercial where it was a bunch of Giants fans sitting there at in front of the television, and a little girl comes in with the Eagle jersey with Saquon Barkley, and everybody's like, yo, what you doing? Says, I go where Saquon goes. So for me, Derrick Jones, what you're saying here is that you like Daniel Jones more than the Giants. Is that the one player we're talking about? Since you did bring that name up, you like Daniel Jones more than the Giants? Let me know. Let me know. My man Bill says tickets sold out for that game in 90 minutes. Crazy. Oh, wow. Wow. They out there singing Sweet Caroline and Take Me Home, West Virginia. I don't know the name of the Country Road. Is that called Country Road? They out there singing that in the bars and stuff. The guys are having a good time. I saw Victor Cruz out there. Brandon London was out there. Bob Papa, of course. I think Carl Banks was out there as well. There's a lot of people out there, man. They having fun out there, man. They having fun out there, and they got out there and with enough days that hopefully they're not super tired. Hopefully their bodies got a chance to get acclimated to that time zone. So we'll see what happens. Mickey X says WTF. Oh boy, whose channel? Who's Thunder? You know what? I don't know yet. That's something that we haven't decided yet. We'll see what happens. All right. Dwayne Murphy says, when the Giants bench DJ, I will actually buy season tickets. Oh man, you making that type of commitment. You're not gonna wait for the draft first. And also, man, even though the Giants are playing the way that they're playing, it's still a pretty long line for season tickets. Like the waiting list is still pretty long. There's some people, you're gonna be out there for a while unless something has changed, unless something opened up, pause, and they got something going. But as far as I know, it's still it's quite some time on that waiting list to get those season tickets. Shout out to my man Booking Tackles in the building. Said, what's good, Booking? How we doing? My man D-Dan says DJ is not a difference maker at all. That's a fact. Dwayne says Derrick Jones. Derrick Jones. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all have that one. You guys are talking to each other. Keep it. What did New York Giants always say? I'm gonna keep that in house. You guys can have that conversation in house. Dwayne and Derrick, y'all can have that conversation in there. My man TP Way answering Thunder's question says it should show from all of the channels, but I will be hosting it. Okay, see, I'm with it. Derrick Jones says, I like Saquon, Eli, Odell, and JPP. I love JPP, man. I remember when we drafted JPP, it seemed a little redundant because we already had so many pass rushers, but he ended up being a fantastic player. And the one thing I remember about JPP, he played at South Florida, and they showed a clip of him doing backflips. Like, it had nothing to do with football. He was just out there doing backflips at 6'5", 290 pounds, just out there doing backflips. Just showed how athletic he was. And the New York Giants took him in the first. Bookin says, even amazing guy wouldn't say that. Even, who are you talking about, Bookin? Who are you talking about? Bill says, good night to school. Listen, he already told you. So in defense of Derrick and notorious HAN, he says, so you're not a Giants fan, you're a player. He absolutely said that. He admitted it. That's the first thing he said. He said, I'm a player fan more than a team. He said it. he made it clear, and he didn't back down. Shout out to Derrick. He kept it real. When people keep it real, I can't do nothing about it. As much as we want to beat him up, throw a couple jabs at him, we can't do it. He kept it real from jump. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Loyalty to a player, that's fine. For me, I can't do it. Let's see what's going on here. Fighters Destiny says European fans are rabid for football. That's a fact. They were blocking traffic today. They had the New York Giants jerseys on. They walking down the middle of the street, singing American songs, American tunes, blocking traffic. People beeping the horn and stuff. It was amazing to see. They was chanting LPG's name out there. That's what's up, man. I know what you meant. I know what you said, Rabbit. I know what you meant. Thunder says, how can DJ be someone's favorite player? we're gonna leave Derek alone, man. Let's leave Derek alone. Let's leave him alone, man. My man Amir D, shout out to Amir in the building. He says that if we don't get Ward or Sanders, what other QB do we reach for? You don't. You don't reach. There's two of them playing right now still. Now, you know what? I don't know the score of that game. You got Jalen Milroe. You got Nussmeier. I think it was still 7-0 when I started this stream. And, Roll Tide. I don't know if we win it or not. But Jalen Milroe is another one that could possibly make his way into the first round right now. People, like a couple of weeks ago, people already had him possibly, like a number one quarterback. For me, he's still developmental, but I like his skill set. And if we keep Brian Daboll, Jalen Milroe is the type of quarterback that Brian Daboll could be very, very successful with. But it all depends. The college playoffs is going to have a lot to do with it in the decision making of where these guys end up falling. But also, we might see a run on quarterbacks as well, like we did last year. I don't think the quarterback class this year is as strong as last year's. It's not. But those some other guys, Nussmeier, Milroe's another one. Jackson Dart is another guy. I wouldn't take Nussmeier or Dart in the first round. Milroe is fringe first round. Again, we'll see what happens. Yours is another guy. Beck is another guy. Most likely a day two for those guys. Second round is like Beck, yours, Milroe. Definitely, you can see those guys go in the second round. Milroe has a chance to go in the first. But yeah, it's some other quarterbacks. But the prize for the New York Giants, in my opinion, is either Sanders or Ward. That's my number one choice. Anybody else, to me, is a possible reach in the first. But then when we get into the second round, third round, those day two guys, all those guys are pretty much falling into that tight category. Milroe's above those guys. After Ward and Sanders, then you got Milroe, then Beck, then yours, and guys like Darter. You just further down. I'm sorry, Nussmeier's up there with like yours and stuff like that. So it's a lot of quarterbacks out there. But when it comes to the first round, there's only two clear-cut first round quarterbacks, in my opinion, right now, and that's Ward and Sanders. By the time we get to the draft, we know what happens. We'll probably see maybe 3 or 4 quarterbacks go in the first round. I know that was a lot of words, man. Rambling. My man Bill says Justin Pugh was talking about casting the game. Yeah, I saw that. He was thinking about going live for the game tomorrow. He asked if who wanted to hang out with him. I think that'd be cool if Justin Pugh did something like that. For me, I can't. I was kind of flirting around with that idea of streaming during the game. And it's funny too, because my wife is the one that told me. She told me no, because like I said, I yell at the screen. I get up. I pace. And it wouldn't be a good look. I try not to curse on this channel. I don't curse on this channel. I can't promise that when the New York Giants are playing. I can't do it. Especially with the way that we're playing. I thought about it, but I can't do it, man. I can't. You guys wouldn't recognize me if I'm watching that game. Some people that are in the spaces when I'm watching the games, you guys know. It can get a little rough. My calm self, this demeanor that I have right now, where it's nice, calm, relaxed. When the New York Giants are playing, it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. When the Giants are playing, I'm Mr. Hyde for real. The jersey comes all the way out when the Giants are playing, and I'm frustrated for sure. Man, my man Bookend says Amazing Guy is one of the DJ's biggest fans. Amazing Guy, yeah. That's a fact. Shout out to Amazing Guy. Bush Kid says, bring on Russell Simmons and Cam. I'm sorry, Russell Simmons. Good Lord. What am I thinking about? Bring on Russell Wilson and Cam Ward. Thunder says, how do we become members, Dash, to your channel? It should be a link that says join on the either on this video or any of the videos you go to. If you go to the page, there should be a little button that says join, and you guys will see the membership stuff there. And that's how you can become a member. Or if there's still any memberships out there, if Bill still got some left, Bill was hooking people up too. So however you want to do it, Bill might have already got all those passed out though. But it's never too late to hit that join button. Let's see. Derek Jones says, I never said DJ was a Hall of Famer. I tend to root for underdogs. Listen, if you root for underdog, and listen, I have a tendency to root for underdogs too, but that's the ultimate underdog right there. Shout out to you, Derek. Guess what? Everybody needs a friend like Derek. Period. Thick and thin, with you to the end, got your back. That's Derek. Everybody needs a friend like that. Even if you don't agree with them, you need somebody in your corner like that. Derek is letting it be known. That's a fact. My man Fighters Destiny says Jones should change his number to 0. It's the amount of fans. That's a lot because Derek Jones is a fan. He got at least one. Cop Pizzle is another one, so that's 2 right there. He got at least 2 that we know about. Benji says, as an LSU fan, Nussmeier isn't the guy. To each his own. I like Nussmeier. I wouldn't take him in the first. I think he has a certain skill set. But you know what's crazy? I'm an Alabama fan, and as an Alabama fan, I didn't feel like Bryce Young was the guy either. So you know what? You might be right, Benji. Maybe we need to look at Nussmeier with the side eye, bring out the magnifying glass, and see what's really good with him. What's going on? He said, Notorious HAN says Milroe is too much of a project, might end up being another Justin Fields. Yeah, in that mold. Like for me, his ceiling is he's like a bigger, stronger, faster Jalen Hurts. Actually, he might not be stronger. He looks stronger. He's definitely bigger. Jalen Hurts is stronger than a lot of people think. But Justin Fields, yeah, he can also be that too. He's developmental. He needs to be in the right scheme. And like I said, for a offensive coordinator, head coach like Brian Daboll, having a quarterback that you can call those power plays and quarterback sweeps and all that stuff, RPOs, it just works with Daboll. It just works with Daboll. If we were to draft Ward or Shador, Daboll would have to switch the way that he's coaching. He can't run QB power with Shador or Cam Ward. He would have to have his quarterbacks be more quarterbacky. All right, Sydney says, I don't care who we have next year as long as it's not Daniel Jones and Drew Lock. I agree with you. Shout out to Rick Torture. What's going on, Rick? Hope you're having a good night, brother. My man Christopher Tony. Shout out to Christopher Tony. How you been, brother? How you been? Said, hey, everyone, Big Dash, Knowles, Milroe, Gabriel, Dart, Sanders, and Ward. Those are the guys you like. Dylan Gabriel, Oregon. That game should be starting soon too, right? If it didn't start already. Dylan Gabriel, I haven't really watched Oregon play this year yet. I haven't watched him play. I'm hearing some good things about Gabriel. Seems like he can make plays, but I haven't really got a chance to watch him. So, I'll hold some comments on him. TP Wader John says the Panthers D-line is as light as it's going to get. So the O-line, even with this mix-up, should play good. If not, I'm on Daboll's head. Listen, I already know. It's enough fingers to point at a lot of people. And Daboll, if we listen, man, I'm really, really confident about this game. Like we should be able to walk through the Panthers, man. Like we really should be able to walk through these Panthers. And if we can't walk through the Panthers, I'm with you, man. I'm on Daboll's head with you. Pause. Listen. Something got to shake here sooner or later. Yo, that's a little much. He said, Thunder says, I spit at the TV. I get so aggravated sometimes. Never mind cursing, laughing my 100. Yeah. It's bad, man. I tell you, my wife, she was like, nah. She was like, nah. Like last week's game. 5 minutes into the game, I'm yelling. My wife walks into the room. She goes, yeah, you can't stream games. And I just laughed because I agree with her. I said, I can't do it. I'm too emotional watching the Giants play, man. I'm way too emotional. Shout out to my man, Mickey X, became a member of the channel. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love, brother. Absolutely. Appreciate you, man. I really do. D Dan says Giants are scoring 35 to 40 points. I think we could put up 30 tomorrow. 40 is pushing it. 35 is pushing it. Shit. 25 is pushing it. Not just curse. I apologize. Hopefully you guys didn't catch that. 25, 30 points. I think we can do that. I think we can and should be able to put up 25 to 30 against the Carolina Panthers. Yeah. Christopher Tony says I've been good. Oregon's killing Miami. I'm killing Maryland right now. Okay. Yeah, I think the spread for that game was like 25. I think 25. I think the spread was 25 for that game. Sydney asks, Dash, if we lose, is Daboll cooked? Depends on how it looks too. If we lose and it's a shootout and it's like 35 to 30, something like that, then optics matter. But if we can't score, like say we score if we score in the teens again, like if we lose 21 to 10 or 21 to 14, it's bad, man. It's bad. And the bye week's coming up. I cannot wait for Joe Shane. I believe it should be Tuesday or Wednesday that Joe Shane has to address the media. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait. I'm going to be tuned in for that because he has a lot of questions to answer. Yeah. I hope they're absolutely brutal when it comes to Joe Shane, the beat writers, when they get the chance to ask these questions. I hope it's live. I hope it's at the podium. I hope it's not one of those teams or what's the other thing? WebExes or something like that. I hope it's not one of those. Hopefully he's live in the building and the beat writers are there to ask those questions. Foot on next. Beat writers, foot on next. Pat Leonard, Pat Leonard's going to do what he does. A lot of people don't like Pat Leonard. I respect Pat Leonard. Don't agree with everything he says, but I respect that he does ask the questions that the fans want to hear. He's definitely not on that Mara payroll. Rick Torture says Burns and Hyatt fired. I hope so. Tomorrow, listen, okay. Obviously, in order for the New York Giants to win football 1-on-1, you got to be able to run the ball and stop the run. I was listening to a Panthers fan and was actually on TP Wade's channel, and one of the guys he was talking to, Panther fan, was saying that the New York Giants cannot stop the run, and that's what he was hanging his hat on, that the New York Giants cannot stop the run. And to me, I'm looking at it like this: the Carolina Panthers, that offensive line, Dexter Lawrence, these guys should be able to hold that running game. Because the Carolina Panthers really can't do anything else, especially when it comes to Bryce Young. They're not really going to be able to do anything else. So if we can't stop the run, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day for the Carolina Panthers. For us, though, we have to establish the run. Heavy dose of Tyrone Tracy, sprinkle in some Devin Singletary, but you also have to work off the run game and open up the passing game. You do have to get Malik Neighbors involved early, get him into a rhythm, get Theo Johnson into a rhythm early, because we saw him last week. He was cold. He dropped a couple of passes. We get into the fourth quarter, all of a sudden he looks like Gronkowski out there. So we got to get these playmakers involved early. Get the tempo established. I'm a fan of going up tempo. It seems like Brian Daboll is hesitant to go up tempo unless we're losing, or unless it's like a 2-minute drill or something like that. Then that's when we go up tempo. But to me, Daniel Jones looks the best when we're up tempo, when we're right on the ball, snapping the ball in a hurry, quick game and stuff like that. I think that's Daniel Jones's game, and I think that's what we need to do tomorrow against the Carolina Panthers to have a successful game and to come out with a victory. So that's my keys to victory real quick. Shout out to my man Dope Dez 1967, became a channel member. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Dez, I don't know, Dope Dez, is that Dez as in like Dez Bryant, or is that Dez like in Desiree? I don't know, but Dope Dez, shout out to you. Shout out to you. I don't know about that. Bookend says Oregon should win the national title. Again, listen, I haven't, full transparency, I haven't watched the Oregon Ducks play once this year. I've seen some highlights. I've read some box scores. I haven't seen him play, so I don't know. That sounds like a lot to me. But again, we're looking at these teams now. People are losing in the top 10 to teams that aren't even ranked. Miami was ranked 4 today, and they lost to Georgia Tech. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. The college playoffs should be absolutely exciting, though, for sure. If you don't normally watch college football, once these playoffs start, it's going to be fantastic, man. TP says, Hard Knocks taught me that Joe already got with his PR guy to dress up these answers. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. He's been rehearsing. Listen, he got people on social media. He already said that. We saw it on Hard Knocks. He told Joe Shane, his media guy told Joe Shane that, people are talking about your body language, reading your body language, and they were laughing and stuff like that. So they already know right off the bat, the first thing somebody's going to ask Joe Shane is, what's up with the offensive line depth? What's up with that? They're going to ask him about Daniel Jones. They're going to ask him about the defensive line, cornerbacks. Because remember, he said when we traded for Brian Burns that he could play cornerback because we got Brian Burns. A lot of that gimmicky stuff that he was saying in Hard Knocks, I didn't pay Daniel Jones $40 million to turn around and hand the ball off to a $12 million running back. With Saquon Barkley having the success he's having right now, boy, he got some questions to answer for sure. For sure. He got a lot of explaining to do. That's a fact. That's a fact. What link are you talking about? Can someone send me the link? I'm having problems finding it. What link are you talking about? Oh, Derek had a big glass of Kool-Aid. He says Daniel might throw for over 400 tomorrow. Go ahead and pass me a cup of that Kool-Aid too, Derek. You know what? I can go to sleep to some Kool-Aid, especially if something like that happens tomorrow. The other thing is if that happens, if that actually happens and comes true, boy, Joe Shane might have something else to say then. Man, he might have a little more confidence if Daniel Jones does something like that tomorrow. Yeah, it should, like I said, Thunder, it should be a join. It should be a little button that says join somewhere on your screen. If you watch, I don't know if you're watching on a laptop or watching on your phone, but if you might need to close the chat, but there should be a join button that says join. You click on join and then you'll see the membership details there. Shout out to you too. All right. Wow, we already got an hour done, man. Tonight's flying by, man. Again, so now, we done talked about a lot of things. I want to know what you guys want to talk about. I'll open up the floor, man. I'll open up the floor. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Share some of your thoughts before we get up out of here, man. It was a quick hangout, or at least it felt like a quick hangout. But I'm just enjoying myself. Let me know what you guys have on your mind, what you guys want to talk about. Again, we touched on Neal starting now. We talked about Jalen Hyde getting more snaps. Hyde just got elevated. Pretty healthy for the most part. I'm curious to see what the secondary does. We talked about Tay Banks, and hopefully the bank is closed. Shout out to Sydney. I want to see what's happening, man. My man Wagner Charles says we should have expected Barkley to have a good season. Philly O-line is responsible. Good. Okay, Barkley wouldn't be doing this well with us. You know what? Listen, but yeah, we kind of know it. I think if Barkley went anywhere else, I think people would be happy and fine with it. Like if Barkley went to Houston and was having the same season he's having right now, I don't think people will be as mad. It's just that he's playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think anybody thought that he wouldn't have a good season somewhere else. Especially we knew as soon as he went to Philly that it was going to be a problem. We knew it. I think everybody knew it. I knew it, but I was putting on a brave face saying that, you know what, once he was gone and you're not a Giant anymore, I got to feel a certain way about it. Got a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to Saquon Barkley. Pause. But yeah, man, I think everybody expecting him, to have this type of a season. We probably didn't hope for it. I didn't want to see it, but we can't act like we're surprised at all. Dope Dad says we start slow every game. That's a fact. Every game. And it's kind of like the same thing too. Like hopefully tomorrow we start off and we try to establish the run. But we do start off the slow. Like if I'm not mistaken, and everybody this is football. The first 15 plays are like scripted. That's right off the script just to see what the team is doing, the defense is doing, and you can react and adjust to that. But yeah, every game it's like we start out with a 3 and out, or we don't cross the 50. Rarely do we start a game off and put points up. How many games do we go without a touchdown? Slow starts for sure. Benji says Barkley is just a special player. He's going to be good anywhere. True. Barkley was always a star. True. We can't argue against that. As much as we hate that he's doing that in that ugly green jersey, at the end of the day, it's still Barkley. And you know what's going to happen when Barkley retires? Barkley is going to come back to the New York Giants and retire, get that one-day contract and retire at the end of the day. And hopefully when that happens, we're mature enough to accept it. I think that happens, though. I think that happens. Maybe, maybe not. You guys let me know how you feel about that. Wagner says, I got Barkley on my fantasy team, so I kind of like it. Yes. Well, you know what? I'm not playing that. Maybe that's what I should have did. Maybe I decided not to do fantasy football this year. And I think if I did have fantasy football, I wouldn't be as upset as I am right now with these losses. I would have something else to root for. But I'm the dummy that chose not to do fantasy this year. My man Amir says, what free agents would you go after in 2025? I'm thinking Chris Godwin for starters. Okay, so you're thinking about wide receivers. Do you really think we need a guy like Godwin as a wide receiver? Let me think about that. Like if I'm going to go after Chris Godwin, I probably would just keep Darius Slayton. Yeah, I think I would keep Darius Slayton. If I'm going to go for any kind of free agent wide receiver, I would just rather keep Darius Slayton. Just thinking about that room right now, you figured you got Malik Neighbors. If Darius Slayton walks, you got Wandell, you got Jalen Hyatt. You probably bring back Isaiah Hodgins. You got Bryce Ford Wheaton. You're probably going to draft a wide receiver just so you can save the money, because you're not necessarily looking for like a number 2 wide receiver. Because between hopefully if he develops, you got Wandell, you got Hyatt, and I don't think Wandell should be the number 2, but if Darius Slayton's not here, he by default he becomes that number 2 guy. But I still think if I have the decision between Chris Godwin and Darius Slayton, I'm probably going to keep Darius Slayton. But let me know how you feel about that. Let me know how you feel about Darius Slayton. Some people don't feel the same way about Darius Slayton that I do. But yeah. Big Blue 8 says, what's up, bro? Just tuning in. Yeah, we an hour in, man. The first hour went by quick, man. I still got some time. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit longer. We're gonna talk some stuff. My man Amir brought up a good subject talking about free agents in 2025. Another thing I would put out there is this. Depending on what happens with Daniel Jones, again, for a lot of people, the writing's on the wall. I feel like he's not going to be here after next year. It's just too much money to pay. Even if the plan is to keep him as a bridge, it's just a lot of money. Do you renegotiate his contract or something like that if you want to keep him? But that's another thing you have to think about too. If we don't keep Daniel Jones, we're probably not going to keep Drew Lock. We don't have another quarterback that's under contract. So even if the plan is to draft a quarterback in the draft in 2025, you're probably still going to have to sign a free agent veteran quarterback as well. So I was looking at the list of guys for quarterback, guys that are going to be free agents, guys that are out there right now. I don't think the market is fantastic. You got guys like Tannehill that's still out there. Mariota be out there again after this year. Guys like Minshew, Flacco is another one. Jacoby Brissett, I think, might have got a 2-year deal. There's some guys out there, but not anybody that you're getting excited about. Tyrod Taylor's another one too. Bottom line, New York Giants need to draft a quarterback, and then we'll figure out the rest. Draft a quarterback. Shout out to my man Q Cox in the building. Says, "What's up, G man?" Shout out to Q Cox, man. Who you got? Who you guys play this week? Who the Vikings got? I can't remember. Is it a division game? Because who y'all just play? Did y'all just play Detroit or Green Bay? Green Bay, right? I think it was Green Bay. Wagner says he'll bring Slay back. I would. I absolutely would. TP Wade says, I want to know who are the top 2 players that y'all are ready to move on from. You can't use Daniel Jones for both slots. Oh man, that's a good question. Who we ready to move on from? It'd probably be one of the guys on the defensive line, like Nacho. I'm ready to move on from a guy like Nacho. That'll be his final year of his contract because we gave him a 3-year deal. So maybe Nacho is one of those guys. DJ Davison, for sure. Even though he's flashed a little bit, it is what it is when it comes to that. But those, yeah, definitely the defensive line. Joshua Zudu is another one. Depending on how Evan Neal plays, but this is only year 3 for him, so we have his rights for another year, and we won't pick up his 5th-year option. So yeah, those are some of those names: Zudu, DJ Davison, Nacho. Those are some guys that I don't want to bring back. But I don't think those guys are making enough money that it even makes an impact, though. Let's see what else. My man John May says Nacho and Zudu. So yeah, it's another one. Got going on here. Benji says D-line 2. Q Cox says Sam Darnold is available. Y'all moving on from Sam Darnold already? That roller coaster ride is something else, man. Vocal Vike was in here earlier, showing some love. And I remember when you guys had that little, when y'all guys lost, I think you guys lost. Did you lose 2 in a row? When y'all lost that game, man, God, y'all was ready to throw Sam Darnold in the trash, man. Y'all was ready to kick him to the curb, man. Yeah. That's funny. My man Amir says, I feel you, but besides wide receiver, what other position players should we target? That's a great question. Cornerback, D-line. Depending on what happens with safety, I don't think Belton's a real answer. I would love to re-sign Jason Pinnock or to extend Pinnock, but I don't know what's in the mind of Joe Shane. So definitely secondary. Depending on what happens with Azeez Ojulari, if we lose Azeez, we got to go with another edge rusher because you need at least 3 good edge rushers or solid edge rushers. So it would definitely be on the defensive side. Yeah, so definitely be on the defensive side, defensive line for sure. Corners, safety, depending on what happens with Pinnock. Those are my ideas. Those will be my target positions. As far as players, I haven't targeted any players yet. I usually don't do that until like January. Once we lose and then guys start getting cut, then I start looking into free agency and eyeballing players. Because I remember like 2 years ago before we got Bobby O, I was sitting there like everybody was talking about Edmonds from Buffalo. I was like, no, we got to go get Bobby O. I saw him play next to Shaq Leonard. He's exactly what the New York Giants need. Fast forward, we ended up getting Bobby O in that first season. We got him. He looked fantastic on the wing. This year, not so much. But so that's usually the time when I start doing that. And again, when a lot of people aren't as active in the off season, I will be here active during the off season, and we'll be able to have all these type of discussions for sure. My man Q Cox says G-Men should sign Reed from the Jets. I do like Reed. And Greenlaw from the 49ers. I do like Greenlaw as well. Those are actually 2 good options, man. Do you know about those guys because you were thinking about it? Because I know you guys are looking for some defensive line help too with Greenlaw. Because Greenlaw is a D lineman, right? Yeah, he is. Is that Greenlaw or Kinlaw? Who am I thinking about? Definitely no Reed is the cornerback for the Jets though. And yeah, he's a target for sure. Derek Jones says inside linebackers. Oh, I mean, it just depends. Again, these guys are learning an entirely new defense. And the biggest change with our defense is how we play our linebackers. The role is completely different from how Wink was more aggressive when it came to his linebackers. He would send those guys in, on blitzes. We're not seeing that as much, with Shane. Shane likes to, send the pressure from the outside with the safeties, nickelback, something like that. We're not seeing that aggressiveness from the linebackers like we did for Wink. So I think once these guys get used to the system a little bit more, we're already halfway through the season. I don't think that inside linebacker is that much of a target right now. McFadden's getting better. Bobby Okereke's having a down year, but again, I just think it's the different role that's the main cause of that. Benji says not even low key, high key, leaving left, leaving left. What? Leaving left big shoes to fill, and Pinnock ain't stepping up. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, those yeah. Xavier McKinney leaving was we see it. We see how he's looking with the Green Bay Packers. He could have been looking that way with us. We already knew that. I'm not the type to like to cry over spilled milk, but yeah, McKinney is a sore spot for sure. Because he's out there balling. He's the best safety in the game right now, hands down. You name me another safety playing better than Xavier McKinney right now. I don't think there is one. Can't be. And the funny thing is, we had him on the verge when he was going to be a Pro Bowler, and we kind of had a feeling that he could take that next step to be an All Pro. McKinney is looking like an All Pro. Salute to Xavier McKinney. And guess what? I'm not mad at Xavier McKinney. Why? Because he got out of the NFC East. I remember they were talking about Dallas being interested in him, the Eagles possibly be interested in him, and if he went to those places, I would hate him just like I hate Saquon Barkley right now. But he went to the Green Bay Packers. Salute to him. I wish him the best, except for when they play us. McLeod is on that list too for sure, but he's gone already. He is gone already. Swing tackle is yes. Swing tackle on the offensive side, probably the most important. I will say this though. Again, we'll see what happens if Barcillo can work his magic, and all of a sudden Evan Neal looks like he can do something at tackle. We'll see tomorrow. I might come back here tomorrow because it's going to be an early post game live tomorrow because of how early that game starts. I'm gonna be in here quick and fast after that game, and I'm pretty sure Evan Neal is probably going to be one of those subjects that I'm going to talk about. Oh man, Benji says Eric Gray, to get him out of here. I actually like Eric Gray. And the funny thing is that I shouldn't like Eric Gray as much as I do. I think he's a good change of pace running back. He makes a good third running back. But we need a thumper. We need a thumper back there. Devin Singletary is not a thumper. Tyrone Tracy is a big play type of guy, not a thumper, even though he's the biggest of the running backs that we have. But I need a thumper. I need like a Brian Robinson type of thumper. And we'll see what happens in the draft. Because if I think we do go back to the running back position in the draft, maybe day 3, there are some good running backs out there, and running backs come a dime a dozen. So that's definitely a position that we can address in the draft. But to your point, Wagner, swing tackle is high on my list for sure. Yeah, we were just talking about that atrocity. I mean, I'm trying to get caught up. I know I'm not caught up to the chat, but yeah, we've been talking college football a lot. It's a lot of players that I like. Are you talking about a particular position? There's some D lines, especially if South Carolina has 2 good defensive linemen that I've been watching. But yeah, this the D line. This D lineman from Kentucky too. The name I can't remember his name right now from Kentucky. I think it's number 9 from Kentucky. I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, but again, I haven't done my deep dive. So I watch a lot of college football. And sometimes these names just blend. But I watch a lot of college football, man. There's a lot of players. There's always players that I keep an eye out for. He said, Bill says Xavier just didn't want to be here anymore. You know what? I don't know if I believe that. I know he was a little frustrated with Wink. He was frustrated with Wink. We saw that last year play out. And I thought it was kind of funny because we saw a lot of free agency addressed in Hard Knocks, but they really just glazed over Xavier McKinney's situation. It was like, okay, we can't afford him, or okay, Green Bay offered him $17 million, and they really didn't touch on it. And there's way more there. There's footage locked away right now about different discussions that they had with Xavier McKinney. It has to be. Like if Joe Shane saw how much he was getting offered and didn't try to do anything, like in all honesty, he could have tagged McKinney. Like he did McKinney a favor. He gave McKinney a chance to go out there and get that offer, but then you didn't try to match the deal. And I understand we had a lot of things going on. And even for me, when I saw that $17 million, offer for Xavier McKinney, we knew it was over, man. That's a lot of money. Especially, we can't be a bad team paying a safety $17 million. Because when you think about safety, really, safety is not safety. When you have an impact safety, that's fantastic. When we just think about the hierarchy of positional value, safety is not high on that list, and he was making a lot of money. And for the New York Giants, it just didn't make sense. But it hurts, man. It hurts. Bill says you can see it. Yeah. We watched the pressures. We know he was on Twitter tweeting all kind of strange, secretive messaging and all that other stuff. So yeah, he was a little disgruntled. But money makes things better. at least sometimes, right? My man James Frazier says Greenlaw is an absolute beast, plays like a hooligan. True. Derek Jones says the Giants let good players go recently. We got a history of letting guys go. Like, especially when it comes to like the defensive line, we let Tomlinson go, and Tomlinson was fantastic. Yeah, we let Linville Joseph when we let him go, he was playing well. What's the other guy's name? What's his name? Jonathan Hankins. Jonathan Hankins was another defensive lineman that we let go. I'm happy that we re-signed Dexter Lawrence. BJ Hill was a guy we traded away, and he's at Cincinnati playing crazy. If we had a guy like BJ Hill is actually what we're missing right now. Leonard Williams is what we're missing right now, but BJ Hill is another one of those guys that we're missing right now. And the funny thing about it, when we drafted Dexter Lawrence, I was sitting there. I didn't know too much about Dexter Lawrence coming out, but I liked BJ Hill. And then, BJ Hill became expendable. And this is before even Dexter Lawrence really didn't pop to 2022. You figure Dexter Lawrence, those first couple of years, I was kind of mad at the pick, if we're going to be absolutely honest here. Those first 2 years of Dexter Lawrence, he didn't pop in 2022. He went from a guy that, okay, we gave him his fifth-year option. Let's see what he does. We'll give him one more try to being an all-pro level, almost, and looking like the verge of a defensive player of the year and possibly a gold jacket guy, Hall of Famer. And all that happened in 2022 because in 2020 and 2021, we weren't talking about Dexter Lawrence like that. We were still trying to figure out if he, if we're running a 3-4-4-3, is he a zero tech? What is he? We found out. And now you can play him almost all over the place. He's just a monster. Now, that's a beast for sure. But Greenlaw is a beast. Derek Jones says Eric Gray is good on screens. Maybe that's why I like him too. That could be it. He said you only got time for a nap, Dad. Now, that's a fact. That's a fact. I wanted A.J. Dillon this year. I wanted him this year. He was the thumper that I was looking for. I actually did it when I did my free agent videos back in, it had to be January, February, when I did my free agent videos. February, right before March. A.J. Dillon was on that list. He was one of the running backs that I was looking at, for sure. Wagner says, who would you rather have, LSU quarterback or Milroe? Tell me who my coach is. Tell me who the head coach is, and I can give you a better decision. If it's Brian Daboll, give me Milroe. If it's somebody else, I might like Nussmeier more. Brian Daboll's looking for another Josh Allen, the guy that can run the ball, has a crazy arm, crazy athletic, and Milroe's one of those guys. Needs to be reeled in, needs to be developed more. That's what Josh Allen is. And Milroe's probably, not saying he's close to Josh Allen, close to college Josh Allen, I should say. Not the Josh Allen that we see on Sundays. That's a different guy than what he was in college. Because a lot of people didn't know Josh Allen in Wyoming like that. He kind of reminded me of like a young Ben Roethlisberger when Ben Roethlisberger was coming out of Miami, Ohio. That's what Josh Allen reminded me of. Big guy, crazy arm, running around making plays. Big guy that's athletic. People forget how athletic Ben Roethlisberger was. Spread those early years, he was running around making plays. Before he got heavy, before big, when he was still just Ben Roethlisberger. Well, he was always Big Ben, but before he was like super big, Ben Roethlisberger, he was out there running around making plays like crazy. I kind of felt the same way about Sam Darnold coming out of college too, because he was running around making plays at USC. But one thing that you should know now, you really can't trust those USC quarterbacks. And that's what they call helmet scouting. Oh, man, I still got comments on McKinney here. TD Minus says, not signing McKinney was dumb to me. That's a fact. But McKinney was a locker room divider. I don't think the players felt that way. I think the beat writers didn't like it. I think he had an issue with Wink. I don't think the players felt that way about him, though. I don't think so. I don't think so. I could be wrong. I'm not in the building. Wagner shows I agree. Would have loved to have McKinney, but not at that price. Yeah, I got to get caught up. Sheesh. Dalvin Tomlinson. Yeah. We traded B.J. Hill. You know who we got for him? Price, the center Price from Cincinnati. That was part of that package deal. Billy Price. Billy Price is who we got back. Yeah. TD Minus says, Lord, A.J. Dillon and Tyrone Tracy would be diabolical. I think so too, man. And so when you say A.J. Dillon is a free agent, he never went back to Green Bay? I guess not. Is he a free agent right now? If he's a free agent right now, I would pick. Well, it's kind of too late for that right now. We done packed this season up for the most part. Yeah, he had the issue with Wink, and Wink went out there and he was at the podium talking about it was weird. This is my first time hearing that. He said that. It's like, come on, man, you know what's going on. Listen, and also Wink has something slick to say. You guys see the comments from Wink? Because the Michigan is not a good team, and that defense is not playing well. And he said, something like being 4-5 is better than some teams that are 2-7 right now. He made some kind of slick comment like that, throwing a jab at the New York Giants. Listen, you moved on. You didn't want to be here. I remember Brian Daboll saying he expects Wink to be back. I remember that. And then you went on a hiatus. You left the building, and we couldn't find you. For like a week, we couldn't find Wink Martindale. Remember? He went and what did he fly down to Florida to his house in Florida? Was out there on the golf course. He wasn't messing with us. You left the Giants. Your boys got fired. They fired the outside linebacker coach and his brother. Wink didn't like it, and Wink left. And then you got all the rumors. Cut it out. Cut it out, Derek. Cut it out. No. Michigan couldn't beat the Carolina Panthers. No. Nope. I'm not gonna let that one slide. not gonna let that one slide, brother. Yeah, even you had to laugh at it. Yeah. Nah, that's crazy talk. Dylan Gabriel must have did something good. He said, I want Oregon's QB with 4 exclamation points. A.J. Dillon is out. Injured, out for the season. Okay. That's another comment. You guys let me go. We are an hour and a half in, and I didn't get a chance to talk about it. The New York Giants didn't make a move during the trade deadline. And we're gonna wrap the show up with this. This is gonna be the last thing we talk about. Then we're gonna get into some predictions. And shame on me and shame on you for not bringing up the trade deadline. I'm a deflect and put that blame on you guys, right? So, when it comes to the trade deadline, again, I didn't want to move off of Darius Slayton. I didn't want to move off of Azeez Ojulari for the price that I was hearing. People were talking about a 6th rounder for Azeez Ojulari. People were talking about possibly a 5th rounder for Darius Slayton. If they were even shopping Darius Slayton, we know for a fact that they were shopping or taking calls for Azeez Ojulari. And a 6th round for Azeez does not make sense to me. Now, also, when you make that decision to not trade these guys, even if it would have been for a 6, you now take the chance of losing these guys for free, for nothing. These guys get to walk now if you don't get the deal done. So to me, it only makes sense to not trade these guys if you plan on re-signing them, and you got to get the deal done. Now, if we get into March and Darius Slayton walks for free, Azeez Ojulari walks for free, you know who else can walk for free? Joe Shane, if he makes it that far. Because you don't make these type of you don't not make these type of deals if you're not if you don't expect to sign these guys. And for me, I like Azeez. I don't think he's going to get a lot of money because of his injury history. A lot of people saying that Azeez can demand a lot of money on the market. No, because his injury history, he's probably going to get a 1-year prove-it deal first. That's usually players with that type of injury history, they get a 1-year prove-it deal. And I don't know what Azeez is looking for, but he's probably going to look more for security and not just a 1-year prove-it deal. And if the New York Giants are remotely within a respectable offer, maybe for some place he might get a 1-year deal. For the New York Giants, we might give him a 2-year deal because, again, we have to protect ourselves too because he does have this injury history. We can't ignore it. You got to get something done with Azeez. When it comes to Darius Slayton, I keep making the same argument. When it comes to the roster and how much cap space we have, depending on what happens with with Daniel Jones, Darius Slayton is not going to cost you a lot of money when you're not paying anybody else in that wide receiver room. Nobody else is making money. Malik Neighbors is on his rookie contract, and the majority of his rookie contract is paid as a bonus when he first signs. So he's not making a lot of money. Darius Slayton, you probably get him on a 3-year deal, probably cost you, he's probably going to get about $12 million a year. Now, if you can accept Darius Slayton making $12 million as a wide receiver too, then you're not going to be mad at that deal. So you say 3 years, 36 million dollars, and maybe 18 guaranteed, 20 guaranteed, or something like that. And I think you can get the deal done with Darius Slayton doing something like that. If you want to throw in some incentives, go ahead and do that. But he has already gave you a lot of breaks. The New York Giants gave the Giants a lot of breaks. He might not have another one in him, but I think that Darius Slayton wants to be a New York Giant for life. Q Cox says $12 million. Just think about what these guys are getting, man. Jerry Jeudy, he's better than Jerry Jeudy. He's better. He's better than a lot of players, and that's what his market is going to be. It's going to be $12 million. I would love to get him for 10. Right now, he's making $12 million. If he goes somewhere like some other people might see his value more, but yeah, I think so. And I didn't get to this $12 million lightly either, because the first time that I heard somebody say it too, I was like, you're out of your mind. Then somebody broke it down to me, and I thought about it, and I said, you know what? That sounds about right. Sounds about right, especially when you're looking at some of these other receivers that are making money. What's Darius Slayton, 26? Maybe he's 26 years old. Still in his prime. The more targets he has, the better he's going to play, the better he looks. Like if you really think about it, if Darius Slayton got 25 more targets over the last couple of years, he probably cracks 1,000 yards each one of those seasons. Like, Darius Slayton is not a wide receiver 1. He's not a wide receiver 1, but for the New York Giants, he was the New York Giants wide receiver 1, and he was only getting like 75 targets. 75 targets, not even 75 catches, 75 targets, and he was getting in the 700s. So you tell me if you give him another 25 targets, he should be able to crack. Like, he was getting 700 yards off of 50 catches. So you telling me if he gets 100 targets, maybe instead of 50 catches, he gets 75 catches? He's $1,000. He's 1,000-yard wide receiver if he's used correctly, if he's getting those targets. But unfortunately, he's been playing with the Giants. So that's my explanation for it. That's my explanation for it. That's exactly what I'm talking about, TD Minus. Slayton is a 1,000-yard receiver with a good quarterback, and I believe that. You said Q Cox said you guys need a legit number 2 like Higgins. Don't clog it. You know how much Higgins is going to cost? You got to pay Higgins like 25. Higgins is going to cost somebody $22 to $25 million. That's what Higgins is going to demand. And listen, I can't even talk to you because it's the Minnesota Vikings. You got your wide receiver room is set right now. Set right now. You got it. Yeah. You guys are good. You got your wide receiver tools on his rookie deal. You really ain't paying nobody either. You got to. Well, Jettas is making a lot of money, but you got it. Was Jordan Addison, wide receiver too, rookie deal, not costing you anything. Exactly. Brian Sutton said we got to have a proven quarterback. That's a fact. T-Mine says, no, I have Higgins in my fantasy. He's never healthy. Yeah. That's another thing too. Benji says, when we cut DJ, we definitely going to have close to $70 million in cap space. That's a fact. People forget about that. And that's just 2025. Did you see Benji? You seem like you've been looking at the cap. You saw what the cap looks like in 2026? Over $100 million in 2026. And that's not even including like the maybe it does on over the cap. I think that they estimate what the what the raise is going to be as far as the cap goes. But yeah, but also in 2026, I think right now we only have like, was it 22 players on the contract in 2026? So that has a lot to do with the cap space as well. It's going to be an entirely different Giants team in 2026, just because how many players are going to be gone if we don't extend them. That's a good thing, could be a bad thing. I'm absolutely 100% with you on this one. He says, Q-Cox says, I think giving up on Hyatt is premature. You see the hat, man. I brought the hat back out. You see it. I brought the hat back out, man. I brought it back out. Q-Cox, I wasn't joking about Sam Darnold as your bridge quarterback. I think he might be the option out there. $20 million deal. Well, yeah. Listen, he's another one that I'm not thrilled about, Sam Darnold, because I don't think we have the coach that can coach up a Sam Darnold. Like, in all respect, like, I really like your head coach. I really like O'Connell. He's one of those offensive minds for sure. From that Sean McVay tree, he's a good coach. Knows how to adjust. Knows how to execute a game plan. You guys got a good coach there. He's going to be there for a while. And you're seeing what he's doing with Sam Darnold. You see it. Derek Jones, the Giants need Hyatt to step up as another big play, home run hitting receiver we need. Listen, and we wouldn't even be talking about wide receivers if Hyatt was able to get things done. Now, again, we can argue about why he's not getting things done, but we already know what it is, man. It's about the targets, and you can say that Hyatt's not getting open. But again, I go back to that same argument. We saw Drew Lock get into a game for a little bit of time, and he was able to get one deep shot to Hyatt in like 6 snaps. And we haven't seen another deep shot to Hyatt. Well, we haven't, before that or after that. A lot of that is him not getting on the field, and the coaches just don't trust him. But I don't understand why. Because last year we saw Hyatt be out there and make some plays. So you're telling me in year 2 he's not better? And the crazy thing about it is Brian Daboll even said it going into the season how much Hyatt had improved. Yes, Hyatt did drop it, but also the attempt was made. We're not even seeing the attempts out there, and that's my main point. Because what does he have? 4 targets on the year, 1 catch, 1 catch, 1 was one catch, 1 catch, 2 drops, and then 1 just wasn't a catchable ball. And that's crazy because we traded up to get Hyatt and we gave up on him. So Q Cox is absolutely right. People have given up on Jalen Hyatt for sure. But again, I'm hoping that tomorrow when we have, the post game live, that I say something like Jalen Hyatt had 100 yards receiving, 3 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. I'm going to put that out in the universe, out in the atmosphere, and hopefully that comes true tomorrow. I need that for his confidence too, because he's an absolute weapon, and people forgot about that as well. Just think when you really think about the wide receiver room, the 3 guys that we've drafted, actually even Slayton, all SEC guys. All and then you figured Wan'Dale Robinson led the SEC that year. Was it in yards or reception? Something crazy like that. He was putting up crazy numbers at Kentucky. Crazy numbers with Will Levis. A lot of yak yards. Jalen Hyatt won the Biletnikoff. Malik Neighbors and Malik Neighbors. See, this is the guys we have in our wide receiver room, and we're not getting the type of explosive plays that we should be getting. And again, we can have these arguments about why we're not getting it, but to me, it's pretty clear. It's either the coaching or the quarterback or both. Just my opinion, man. We got to wrap it up for sure. But we almost creeping up on 2 hours here. I got to watch a new episode of From too. Dwayne Murphy says Hyatt is open on the bench. He keep the seats warm. Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. JC NYC's Hodgins also barely drops passes. Now, I like Hodgins. I said it earlier. JC, you wasn't here. Maybe just weren't commenting. I said it earlier. Hodgins should have made the 53. Hodgins definitely should have made the 53. I like Hodgins. I'm a fan of Hodgins. Derek Jones says both. Derek also said Hyatt pissed him out. He did. He's in the doghouse for whatever reason. And again, we saw Brian Daboll say it 2 days ago that, once we knew that Slayton wasn't going to play, wasn't even going to travel, he said that Hyatt's going to get more plays, more snaps. We'll see what happens. Because against that defense, I think J.C. Horn is hurt. I believe J.C. Horn is hurt. Just think about their cornerback room. We should eat tomorrow. I really believe we should put up those points. And again, I say that, and I say this. Every time I feel this good about a game, we lose. But I can't lie to y'all, man. I really do feel good about this game. All right, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up. We're gonna get into some predictions, some score predictions tomorrow for the New York Giants versus the Carolina Panthers in Germany. Let me know what you guys think, man. Give me some score predictions. Do you think we got this one, or you think we're going to lose? Not if you want to lose. I'm just asking what you guys think. Do you think we're going to lose? Not if we should tank. We should take that. We should be happy with this. Let me know what you guys really think about this game. If you had to put some money on it, you think the New York Giants win this game, and also let me know what your prediction is. And I'll wait for some of those to come in. My man Brian Sutton, fast. He says 27-24 Panthers. Okay, we got a loss off jump. Derek Jones says we lose. No score prediction, just lose. My man Wagner says 28-17 Giants. I'm feeling that. I think we could score 30 points against the Panthers. My man Fighters Destiny says 21-9 Giants. Derek Jones says it's gonna be bad for the Giants. It's gonna be bad for the Giants. Listen, man, I got the Giants winning. I got the Giants winning for sure. I got us winning like 28-14, 28-17. That's I like what Wagner Charles says. 28. I can see that, but I can see our defense doing something even worse. I like what Benji's cooking up right now. 35-10. The last time we had a prediction of 35-10, it was week 2 against the Commanders. That's the last time we had a prediction like that, 35-10. That's a fact. Shout out to my man Michael Knight. Says, what's good, Dash? Where you been, Michael? Where you been, brother? Show's almost over. Now, shout out to you, man. Salute to you. What we got going on? Benji says, putting it in the atmosphere. That's a fact. 35-10. Derek Jones says, we're supposed to put up 30 easy. It's still the Giants at the end of the day. I can see us putting up 30, but I'm gonna say 28. I'm gonna keep it there. I'm not gonna let you push me. No peer pressure to push it to 30 something. Benji did it for me. Benji said 35-10. Brian Sutton says, man, y'all bugging with these predictions, man. So what, Brian? Let us bug out a little bit. It's late. Half of us is sleepy or done fell asleep already. Let us have it. Said last week y'all had these same predictions. Every week we got these same predictions, man. Every week, and every week we got pain. We dealing with pain. Another loss. Let us have it though, man. We're just stubborn. We're stubborn. Derek Jones says DJ ain't threw a pick in a while. He's overdue. What do you mean he ain't throwing a pick in a while? He absolutely threw a pick. The game before last, he threw picks. The last two, we had 2 chances to win that game. Remember, he threw a pick the first time and fumbled the last time against the Steelers. It ain't been a while. It has not been a while. Dwayne Murphy does not surprise. 31-14 Panthers. Bryce Young takes another step forward, and we head for Cam. I told you not to do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. We're not forecasting. We're not forecasting to 2025 at Camwell. We were supposed to leave that out of the conversation, but I got you. He did so fumble last game too. That's a fact. Michael Knight says 27-10 Giants. I think this defense will eat the Carolina Panthers, man. They got rid of their wide receivers. They got old man Adam Thielen, and I just jinxed myself. Remember the last time we played Adam Thielen? He actually looked pretty good, didn't he? He was wearing a different color jersey though. Yeah, that's a fact. Like I said, yeah, he's been turning the ball over. It ain't been a while. It's been recent history. Recent history. You don't got to rub it in, man. You don't got to rub it in. 1-15 in primetime games. You ain't got to rub it in, man. You ain't got to rub it in. Y'all keep the predictions coming. Let me just make sure that I hit all these super chats before we get out of here. And I did. Shout out to all the new members too. Again, shout out to Bill for gifting 10 memberships. If you didn't get a chance to grab one of those, go ahead and hit Bill up if he's still in the building. If you can grab one of those. But again, thank you for the love and support, man. I appreciate that for sure. Always, man. Johnny Lovely says 30-21, but Johnny Lovely didn't give me a team, though. 30-21 who? Let me know. Derek Jones, let it be known that it's not prime time, though. It ain't prime time, though. Michael Knight says, do you think this could be Daniel's last game? It just depends on how it looks. If it's absolutely ugly, they probably will make a change during the bye week and then, look forward to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a new quarterback, possibly. All right, thank you, Johnny, for letting me know. Johnny, that's crazy, too, because, Johnny, I know sometimes you be down on the Giants, but you 31-10, huh? I'm sorry, 30-21. He got the right thing. TP Way the Giants says, peace, everyone. Great show, Dash. Holla at y'all in a few hours. That's a fact. We gonna go to sleep. This game is right around the corner, man. Right around the corner. For me, it's 7:30. Listen, I'm old, so I wake up early in the morning anyway. But I'm gonna set my alarm clock just in case. Just in case. Derek Jones says, I'm praying hard tonight for 400 from Daniel. Listen, as a Giants fan, I hope you're right. Because at the end of the day, I'm a New York Giants fan. And if the New York Giants win the game, I'm happy. I'm happy for sure, especially on game day. But that's it. Yeah, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. Appreciate everybody for vibing with me, for tuning in. Almost 2 hours. I normally don't even go 2 hours, but we had some fun tonight talking about these New York Giants, talking about a little bit of college football and everything else around the sun. But again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And don't forget, like my man TP Way the Giants said, we got something cooking for the bye week. We'll get you guys the information of when the actual day is going to be for the show, but it's going to be a lot of your favorite Giants content creators on that show talking about the Giants during the bye week and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And, stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys got your, got the community posts up. Make sure you guys subscribe to my man TP Way as well. Good Giants content creator there. You guys already know him. If you're in this chat, you already know who TP Way is and the type of job that he's doing. But I'm going to say good night to people. Good night to people. So that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation.